Hi guys, I am Julius A. Serrano, BSAMT student from University of Perpetual Help School of Aviation. Now, this subject is Airframe and Powerplant Inspection, Section 15133. And for this subject, I'll be discussing with you the publications used in aviation, operation, and maintenance, or aircraft and equipments. Now, aeronautical publications are sources of information for aviation mechanics in the operation and maintenance of the aircraft and related equipments. The proper use of these publications will greatly aid in the efficient operation and maintenance of the aircraft. Now, this includes manufacturer service bulletins, manuals or aircraft maintenance manuals, illustrated parts catalogs, and as well as FAA regulations, airworthiness directives, advisory circulars, and aircraft engine and propeller specification. Now we'll discuss each and every one of that said publications, but let's start first with the bulletins or manufacturer service bulletins. Now, service bulletins are one of the several types of publications issued by airframe, engine, and component manufacturers. So they have different manufacturers. The bulletins may include the purpose for issuing the publication, the name of the applicable airframe, engine, or component, 3 detailed instruction for service, adjustment, modification, or inspection, and source of parts if required. 4th, the estimated number of man-hours required to accomplish the job. Next publication is the maintenance manual. Now, aircraft maintenance manual is like the Bible of the aircraft mechanic. The aircraft maintenance manual provided by the manufacturer contains complete instructions for maintenance of all systems and components installed in the aircraft. It contains information for the mechanic who normally works on units, assemblies, and systems while they are installed in the aircraft and not for the overhaul mechanic. A typical aircraft maintenance manual contains a description of the systems, example, electrical, hydraulic, fuel, and control. Second, lubrication instructions setting forth the frequency and the lubricants and fluids which are to be used in the various systems. Third, pressures and electrical loads applicable to the various systems. Also. Fourth, tolerances and adjustments necessary to proper functioning of the airplane. Fifth, methods of leveling, raising, and towing. Sixth, methods of balancing control surfaces. Seventh, identification of primary and secondary structures. Eighth, frequency and extent of inspections necessary to proper operation of the airplane. 9th, special repair methods applicable to the airplane. 10th, special inspection techniques requiring X-ray, ultrasonic, or magnetic particle inspection. And last, a list of special tools needed for the maintenance. Next is the overhaul manual. The overhaul manual The manufacturer's overhaul manual contains brief descriptive information and detailed step-by-step information, instructions covering work normally performed on a unit away from the aircraft. Simple, inexpensive items such as switches and relays on which overhaul is uneconomical are not covered in the overhaul manual. Next, structural repair manual. This manual contains information and specific instructions from the manufacturer for repairing primary and secondary structures like skin, frame, rib, and stringer. Repairs are covered in this manual. Also included are materials and fastener, substitutions, and special repair techniques. Next, the IPC or Illustrated Parts Catalog or Catalog. This catalog presents component breakdowns of structure and equipment in disassembly sequence. Also included are exploded views or cutaway illustration for all parts and equipments manufactured by the aircraft manufacturer. Next, the FAA regulations or Federal Aviation Administration Regulation or FAR. The Federal Aviation Regulations were established by law to provide for the safe and orderly conduct of flight operations and to prescribe airmen privileges and limitations. A knowledge of the FAR is necessary during the performance of maintenance since all work done on the aircraft must comply with the FAR provisions. Next is the airworthiness directives. A primary safety function of the Federal Aviation Administration is to require correction of unsafe conditions found in an aircraft. Aircraft engine, propeller, or appliance when such conditions exist are likely to exist or develop in other products of the same design. The unsafe condition may exist because of a design defect, maintenance, or other causes. FAR Part 39, Airworthiness Directives, defines the authority and responsibility of the administrator for requiring the necessary corrective action. The Aircraft Airworthiness Directives are the media used to notify aircraft owners and other interested persons of unsafe conditions and to prescribe the conditions under which the product may continue to be operated. Airworthiness directives are federal aviation regulation and must be complied with unless specific exemption is granted. Next is the Alert Service Bulletin. Alert Service Bulletin is issued when an unsafe condition shows up. This shows up that the manufacturer believes to be a safety related opposed to a mere improvement. Now, the Alert Service Bulletin is issued by the manufacturer. Any component manufacturer, maybe engine manufacturer or instrument manufacturer. This is different from the airworthiness directives, which only the FAA or our local administration, which is the CAAP, they are the one that are allowed to issue airworthiness directives. Now next, type certificate data sheets. Type certificate data sheets describes the type design and sets forth the limitations prescribed by the applicable CFR part. It also includes other limitations and informations found necessary for type certificate of a particular model aircraft. Type certificate datasheet contains information regarding: first, model designation for all engines for which the aircraft manufacturer obtained approval for use with this aircraft. Second, minimum fuel grade to be used. Third, maximum continuous and takeoff ratings of the approved engines, including manifold pressure when used, RPM, and horsepower. Fourth, name of the manufacturer and model designation for each propeller for which the aircraft manufacturer is obtained approval will be shown together with the propeller limits and any operating restrictions peculiar to the propeller, etc., etc., etc. In short, type certificate data sheets are like the birth certificate of your aircraft or any flying vehicle. This is where the name, the model, the engine type, the dimensions, the design is included. And that's all, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my video and I hope you learned something new. And God bless. Stay safe always.